What's up, guys? Welcome back to the garage. Today, I wanted to go over some quick tips for better goal-oriented eating. Most people's goal is something along the lines of fat loss or body recomposition, where they're trying to increase lean muscle mass and lose body fat. Some people may have the goal to add muscle. Regardless, these tips are gonna help you out. So tip number 1. Start at chapter 1. What does that mean? That means when you look at somebody who does something more complex, let's use the example of counting macros, or maybe even carb cycling or alternate day fasting. Understand that that's their chapter 27 and you're on chapter 1. Start with the basics, right? You gotta learn how to add and subtract before you multiply and divide. And then you gotta know how to multiply and divide before you can do algebraic equations. And then you gotta do algebraic equations to understand calculus, right? It continues on forever. Start where you're at. Most people, that means increasing nutrient density of food. So choosing better quality foods, whole foods that are high in nutrition, high in vitamins and minerals and fibers and the good things that your body needs. It usually also means decreasing caloric density of foods. So avoiding highly processed foods that don't have a lot of nutrients and instead have a lot of calories. Things that are processed have been stripped of their nutrients, and really what they contain is just high amounts of calories in the form usually of simple carbohydrates or fats. When we're trying to lose weight, recomposition our body, we need to navigate away from those highly processed foods, from those foods that are calorically dense. The other thing most people need to do, which is very, very basic, is increase their activity level. That can be going for walks daily. That can be turning your walk into a jog. That can be going to a CrossFit class or a group fitness class. That can be adding some resistance training. But you have to increase your activity level, because that navigates us towards a more favorable body composition, right? We can increase lean muscle mass. We can decrease fat mass. And then finally, when it comes to starting at chapter 1, you have to do those things and you have to make them easy. You have to make them the easy choice. So that may mean altering your social context, your social situations, to remove you from areas or social settings where you may be tempted to not goal-oriented eat, right? Maybe it's something like going to the bar. Maybe you gotta go to the bar less, in all honesty, so you don't drink as much. Things like that. Make it the easy choice. So start at chapter 1. Start with the basics. That's usually what the basics look like. Tip number 2, don't buy it. I'm gonna put a little quote by this. Sorry, kids. Sorry, spouse. The truth is, if it is in your household, you will eat it. I work with parents, and a lot of them cannot stop themselves from eating their children's foods, whether that's the children's cereal or the damn Nutri-Grain bars or the cereal bars or the candy or the fruit roll-ups or whatever it is. If it's in your face, you're gonna eat it at some point. And the truth is if you're not supposed to be eating it or you're trying to avoid it, so too should your kids, so too should your family, your spouse, whoever's in your household. So really easy, really simple, guys. Just don't buy it. If you're trying to avoid it, just don't have it around you. Number 3, and this is kind of a hard one, plan ahead, right? This is where people get stuck. You've got to plan ahead. If you plan ahead, you're more likely to follow through. And what I mean is really simple things. I'm not saying you got to meal prep for the entire week and have every single meal in a little container ready to go. What I'm saying is that you need to take the time to just have a plan. You need to take the time to where you make it harder to make choices that are not based on your goal. That can be as simple as just chopping vegetables, right? Have them chopped up, ready to go, where you can eat them raw, or you can quickly throw them in a steam bag and throw them in the microwave. right? It could be pre-cooking proteins. That's a big one. That's super easy. It doesn't have to be rocket science. It can just literally be turkey patties that are just pre-cooked, pre-seasoned, ready to go. So when you're in a pinch, you're in a bind, you're in a rush, you can grab it, pop it in the microwave, bam, there you go. So make it easier by planning ahead. If you plan ahead, you're more likely to follow through. And then number 4, and this is another big one, number 4, if it's not sustainable, don't waste your time, okay? And what I'm talking about is things like the keto diet, the Whole30, right? And there's gonna be other reasons you do Whole30 elimination diets, right? That understand what I'm saying is as a diet. Diets like these, restrictive diets like these, they're not sustainable. You're not gonna be able to do that for the rest of your life. It's just not realistic. So don't waste your time on it. Just don't. Go back to number 1 and just start with the basics. Okay, so if it's not sustainable, don't waste your time, don't do it, because it needs to be sustainable. That's how we reach our goals. We're in it for the long haul. It is a marathon, not a sprint with nutrition. So just keep those things in mind. So there it is, your 4 tips for this week for goal-oriented eating, mostly geared towards fat loss and body recomposition. But there it is, simple, not very sexy, right? Not easy to sell and make money off of, but it's just the truth. And that's what I'm here to do, is give you guys the truth. So thank you for watching. Let me know how you like this video, and I'll see you guys soon.